Gotta give it to Bird, man. He started that stunt. You know I started that stunt. Well, guess what? I was uptown too, and I started that.
Perfect. It was the perfect. So I'm bro,
yeah,
like right there watching y'all, and I heard him, and then when you came out after the song ended and said it, I thought to myself, because I could see the crowd go bout it. They went crazy.
Yeah. Master P just made a shocking career move, and people can't stop talking about it. This is the same man who turned nothing into a $480 million empire, sold over 100 million records, and then watched it all crash into bankruptcy. Everyone thought his retirement was just him taking a breather, but in his latest interview, he dropped major truth bombs. The downfall, the family pain, and all that behind-the-scenes smoke. By the time Y2K rolled around, Master P was sitting on top of an empire so massive that most people could only dream of touching it, but while the world saw gold chains and tank logos...
So, I wish him the best at the coach thing. He always was a ball player, so it's second nature to him, so maybe that's, where he's supposed to be.
Cracks were already forming behind the curtain, the same game plan that once made No Limit Records unbeatable. Dropping album after album non-stop started to backfire. The music scene got oversaturated, and fans were getting tired. Plus, P kept teasing retirement every other month, confusing fans who didn't know if they should still ride with him or not. That back-and-forth energy started to wear people out. Then came the identity confusion. One minute it was raw street sound, the next it was kid-friendly vibes. When he pushed his son Lil Romeo into the spotlight, it was a risky mix, and the industry couldn't figure out where No Limit stood anymore. And just when things couldn't get messier, the legal issues started stacking up. Artists left, lawsuits hit hard, and by 2003, No Limit Records filed for bankruptcy. It was a jaw-dropping crash for what had once been one of the biggest and most profitable names in all of music just 5 years before. The business storm hit hard, and it left deep scars. All the money and fame in the world couldn't shield Master P from the kind of pain that hits the soul. The real battles weren't in the boardroom. They were personal, raw, and heartbreaking. It all started early with the tragic 1990 murder of his brother Kevin, a wound that never truly healed. But that was just the start of a lifetime full of losses that would test any man's spirit. Then came the heartbreak of his brother Corey Miller, better known in the streets as C Murder, getting locked up in 2002 for a murder conviction that Master P has been fighting against ever since. Over 20 years of pushing for justice, of holding on to hope while watching his own brother sit behind bars, even as P himself was at the top of the world. That kind of weight can crush a person, and yet he kept pushing, using his voice to shine light on his brother's case. In 2020, Master P took his fight public, organizing protests that drew national attention. But just when the world thought he'd already faced enough loss, tragedy struck again in May 2022. His daughter, Tichana Miller, passed away at just 29 from an accidental fentanyl overdose. She had been quietly battling addiction and mental health struggles, a painful fight that too many families face, no matter how rich or famous. Instead of hiding from it, Master P spoke up with honesty and courage. He said, mental illness and substance abuse are real issues that we can't be afraid to talk about. In his 2025 interviews, he reflected on keeping Titiana's memory alive through unity and healing, especially by repairing his relationship with his son, Romeo Miller, once known as Lil Romeo. Even through the heartbreak, Master P's resilience keeps shining. Master P started opening up about how much communication really matters as a father, something he admits he had to learn the hard way. His marriage couldn't survive the constant pressure either. After 24 long years, he and his ex-wife, Sonia C, called it quits.
Actually, I didn't know it till late. At the end of the day, to each his own. Maybe he had a point to where, he felt like he did enough. And I remember this in the beginning, it's actually like the second retirement. I think he retired semi after the last done in the beginning. And came back. So you never know what's going on with people personally. And what's the reason for the season. So, it is what it is. Salute P, I always did from the gate.
Later, Master P revealed that during their marriage, he had been hiding her struggles just to protect that picture-perfect image fame demanded. The pressure to look flawless on the outside was slowly tearing apart everything real on the inside. But while he was fighting his personal demons, another kind of tension had been bubbling for years, one that went way back to the streets of New Orleans. His complicated history with Brian "Birdman" Williams and Cash Money Records wasn't your average rap beef full of diss tracks and flashy shots. This was something way deeper. It came from real street roots, loyalty, and neighborhood pride. Master P repped the Calliope projects in the 3rd Ward, while Birdman came up out of the Magnolia in Uptown. And in New Orleans, those blocks meant everything. They lived just a few few miles apart, but it might as well have been two different worlds. Birdman even said in interviews, "We from two different projects, so it just didn't ever mix. We ain't never had no beef. Ain't nobody dead, but we just never vibe." Still, that simple explanation barely scratched the surface. Behind the scenes, whispers and dark rumors filled the city. Birdman's brother, Terrence "Gangsta" Williams, reportedly linked to more than 40 bodies, was accused of being involved in the killing of Master P's cousin, Randall Calliope Slim Watts. Williams has denied it, but that kind of shadow doesn't fade easily. The streets never forget, and those old wounds never really healed. The streets were buzzing with whispers of guilt by association, and when you mix that with the earlier murder of Master P's brother Kevin, the divide between the No Limit and Cash Money camps became locked in for good. Those lines weren't just drawn, they were carved deep in New Orleans history. Then came the business tension that added even more heat. In the late 90s, Cash Money was exploding, 400 degrees, and the Hot Boys had the whole South on fire. Birdman was chasing a game-changing distribution deal, trying to level up just like Master P had done before him. He nearly sealed a deal with Priority Records, the same label that had launched No Limit into the music stratosphere, but then things allegedly took a wild turn. According to Birdman, in a 2025 No Chill interview, Master P made a bold move behind the scenes. He claimed P told the Priority execs, "If y'all sign them, y'all can't sign nobody else from the South." That one alleged phone call might have changed music history forever. With the Priority deal gone, Cash Money pivoted to a Universal joint venture, a move that brought massive fame but also years of chaos, from money battles to lawsuits, including Lil Wayne's huge 2015 fallout over royalties. Master P, though, brushed off the accusations. He said it was never sabotage, just business and healthy competition. "We never tried to destroy each other," he explained, adding that the new generation should learn from that energy instead of repeating old beefs. For years, fans dreamed of seeing these two New Orleans powerhouses finally unite, and on October 25th, 2025, it actually happened. The Cash Money versus No Limit Verzuz went down live at Complex Con, promoted as a full-blown celebration of NOLA unity. The stage was set, the tension was thick, and the world was ready for a moment that had been decades in the making. When Snoop Dogg hit the stage beside Master P and Juvenile was vibing with Mia X, the energy felt electric. For a split second, it seemed like decades of tension between No Limit and Cash Money were melting away into pure respect, but you know how it goes. Old energy's got a way of creeping back in and crashing the peace. Midway through the showdown, Birdman suddenly went off script. He started ranting about Turk, the missing Hot Boy member, and then threw slick shade about loyalty, all while staring straight across the stage at Master P's crew. The crowd could feel the shift instantly. The air got thick, and every camera phone in the building went up. Then came that moment, the one that broke the internet. Master P, cool as ever, waited just long enough before hitting back with a clapback so sharp it could only come from an OG who'd been holding it in for years. The crowd went crazy. It wasn't just words, it was timing, confidence, and pure boss energy. It was the kind of comeback that shut the whole room down. Later, Master P spoke on it with calm authority. No anger, no petty talk, just pure composure. And then, out of nowhere, he did something nobody expected. He crossed the stage, reached out his hand, and gave Birdman a dap and salute. Was it a real truce? Or just two veterans acknowledging they'd both survived the storm? Nobody really knew. Still, Master P kept it classy, saying, "I knew him from day one. We have that much respect." But the streets and social media had other thoughts. People noticed Birdman dipped right after the dap, sparking theories that the tension was still alive. And when Lil Wayne didn't show, officially blamed on tour obligations, fans weren't buying it. They called it suspicious, hinting that maybe those old royalty issues were still haunting the reunion. The whole situation with Birdman just added another layer of shade to an already wild story. Through bankruptcy, heartbreak, divorce, and decades of street tension, Master P never once stopped moving. Even when No Limit Records fell apart, he was already plotting the next big thing. In 2005, he and his son Romeo teamed up to launch Gooder Music, and by 2010, he brought the No Limit legacy back with No Limit Forever. The man refused to quit, but P didn't just stick to music. He was diversifying like a true mogul. He jumped into acting, showing up in movies like Foolish, and even produced the family sitcom Romeo, which ran from 2003 to 2006. Then he shifted gears again, stepping into professional basketball. Not as a player this time, but as a coach and mentor. He even helped shape future NBA stars like DeMar DeRozan back in 2013. Talk about leveling up. And that same year, Master P hit a milestone that sealed his name in Louisiana history. He became the first hip-hop artist ever inducted into the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame. That was more than a trophy. It was proof that a man who came from the projects could turn street hustle into a legacy of greatness. His business empire stretched way beyond the mic. He launched Uncle P's Spices, built up a real estate portfolio through PM Properties, managing over 100 rental units, pushed energy drinks, and even took partial ownership in the wrestling promotion House of Glory. In 2021, Lincoln University honored him with an honorary doctorate, recognizing a man who proved that street smarts and book smarts can live in the same brilliant mind. At this point, the question wasn't if Master P could survive anymore, it was what's he gonna conquer next? Then came the big moment that shocked fans everywhere. On July 6th, 2025, at the Essence Festival of Culture in New Orleans, Master P took the stage and dropped a bombshell. After nearly 4 decades in the game, he was calling it quits. His farewell performance wasn't just an ending, it was the close of an era and the spark of a brand new chapter for a living legend. The farewell event was more than just a concert, it was history in motion. The stage lit up with a full-blown No Limit Records reunion featuring Silk the Shocker, Drew Hill, and Carrie Hilson. It felt like one big family celebration mixed with closure, the perfect send-off for a man who changed hip-hop forever. When Master P took the mic to explain why he was stepping away, it wasn't about quitting, it was about growth. "I'm growing to another level," he said. "There's a lot of negative stuff going on in hip-hop, and people don't want to talk about the positive things." That was real talk. This wasn't retirement from failure. This was evolution. Master P was recognizing that his purpose had outgrown the charts. He was ready to take on bigger missions, to fight different kinds of battles, the kind that build people, not just businesses. Even Young Bleed, one of No Limit's original soldiers, said the move made perfect sense, calling it a sign that P was walking in his true purpose. And just like that, the next chapter unfolded. In early 2025, Percy Master P. Miller got appointed as the president of basketball operations and head coach for the University of New Orleans Privateers men's basketball team. Talk about a full circle moment. This was the same guy who once dreamed of playing in the NBA before life steered him into hip-hop superstardom. Now, he was finally back on the court, this time as Coach P, leading a new generation. Under his leadership, the program went through a total transformation. He recruited 13 new players for the 2025 to 2026 season, rolled out facility upgrades, a brand new locker room, a revamped practice gym, and even a new jumbotron lighting up Lakefront Arena. The whole vibe changed. He rebranded the entire program and helped integrate it into the LSU system, setting a fresh standard for college athletics in Louisiana. But for Master P, it's not just about winning games. It's about building men. He's been using basketball as a tool for life lessons, posting Bible verses in the locker room, and pushing his players to master discipline, purpose, and faith beyond the court. Coach P isn't just shaping athletes, he's shaping futures. Master P gets it. He understands something most coaches completely overlook. These young players don't just need drills and playbooks, they need guidance. They need someone who's walked through real pain, faced pressure from every angle, and still came out standing strong. Coach P's been through that fire, and now he's using his story to guide these young bulls to a safer, smarter future. The Privateers kicked off their season in November 2025 with an exhibition win over Sacramento State, setting the tone for a brand new era. And on October 18th, when the team hit the court, the place was packed. Legends like Shaquille O'Neal and Mike Bibby pulled up to see what Coach P was building. It wasn't just a game, it was the start of a movement. But Master P's vision stretches way beyond basketball. He's on a mission to rebuild New Orleans from the inside out, boosting college enrollment, inspiring community pride, and investing in youth development. In one major move that showed his heart, he personally bought tickets for 4,000 middle schoolers so they could attend home games. He's planting seeds in young minds, showing kids that college isn't some far-off dream. It's something real and within reach. And he's not stopping there. Using his industry connections, P has reportedly reached out to big names like Lil Wayne and J. Cole for potential halftime performances to hype up the program and attract national attention. He's turning the University of New Orleans into something fresh, a mix of sports, culture, and community revival. Of course, Not everyone's cheering. Critics online have thrown shade, saying he's not qualified because he doesn't have a college degree. But supporters clap right back, saying his decades of business success, leadership, and dedication to the city make him exactly the kind of leader the program needs. They don't want another cookie-cutter career coach. They want a visionary who knows what it's like to build from nothing. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Remember when Master P said he was done with music? Well, he might have bent that rule just a bit. On October 25th, 2025, the same night as the Cash Money versus No Limit Verzuz, something surprising went down that nobody saw coming. Right in the middle of all the Cash Money buzz, Master P shocked everyone. He dropped a surprise album. It wasn't some flashy full-blown comeback though. It was classic Master P, doing what he's always done, popping up exactly when it matters most. This move showed that while his days of dropping albums back-to-back are long gone, he's still got that power to shake the culture whenever he decides to step in. He's not retired from relevance. He's just playing the game smarter, choosing his moments with precision. So, what does Master P's empire look like in 2025? Let's break it down. His estimated net worth sits around $200 million, built brick by brick through decades of hustle, reinvention, and smart business plays. His portfolio is stacked with diversity that would make even Ivy League professors nod in respect. Beyond the steady royalties still rolling in from No Limit's legendary catalog, P has turned his hustle into a powerhouse network of ventures. He's got Uncle P's Spice Line seasoning kitchens nationwide, real estate moves through PM Properties managing hundreds of units, and partial ownership in the wrestling promotion House of Glory. Add to that a list of consumer products, energy drinks, and entertainment investments. The man turned his grind into generational wealth. But what makes him stand out isn't just the money, it's how he uses it. As New Orleans' official entertainment ambassador, Master P has been putting the city on the global stage, giving back as much as he earns. His philanthropy runs deep, from the P. Miller Youth Centers to financial literacy programs designed to reach at-risk youth. He's teaching real-world skills and showing young people a way out that doesn't involve the streets. That's the real legacy. Not just what he built, but who he lifted up along the way. Even legends recognize it. Nipsey Hussle once said, "No Limit inspired his whole independent grind." That ownership mentality P pioneered, keeping your masters, owning your art, using major label power without giving up control, became the blueprint for the modern independent movement. Labels like Quality Control, Empire, and countless others are walking the same path P mapped out years ago. Master P didn't just change music, he changed the mindset. And in 2025, that legacy is still echoing through every corner of hip-hop. Back in 2020, BET dropped the No Limit Chronicles, a 5-part docu-series that reintroduced the world to just how groundbreaking Master P's hustle really was. The show laid it all out, from him selling tapes straight out the trunk to building a record label that ruled the late 90s with its own rules, its own sound, and its own code. It wasn't just nostalgia, it was a masterclass in independence. IMDb users went crazy over it, calling Master P a real boss who fought through every obstacle. The doc didn't just spark memories, it sparked movement. It reignited public protests demanding justice for C murder, showing that even P's old stories still have the power to shake the system and create real-world change. That's legacy energy right there. Bet even ranked him number 28 on their list of the most influential rappers of all time. But that spot wasn't just about record sales or fame, it was about impact. Master P changed the way artists think. He flipped the whole relationship between creators and the industry, proving that ownership and independence were the real keys to power. So when people ask, what happened to Master P? The answer is simple. He evolved. That's been his blueprint from day one. From the Calliope Projects to a record store, from that store to a label, from the label to film, TV, sports, and philanthropy, the man never stayed still. Every chapter of his life was a new level, each one building on the last. At 55 years old, Percy Robert Miller stands as living proof that reinvention isn't just possible. It's essential. The same streets that could have swallowed him whole became the foundation of his empire. The same tragedies that could have broken him became the reason he fights for family, mental health, and community today. And the same industry that once tried to box him in, he built his own boxes and then sold them for profit. As the No Limit Chronicles reminded everyone, Master P himself said it best. If I made it out the conditions that I made it out of, then you can do it. That's not just motivation, and that's testimony. A real one who turned pain into power and built an empire straight from the trenches. Percy Robert Miller, the man the world would one day call Master P, was born on April 29, 1970, deep in New Orleans' Calliope housing projects. And if you know anything about the Calliope, you already know that spot wasn't just hit by poverty, it was swallowed by it. Crime wasn't some occasional thing there. It was the daily soundtrack of survival. Every corner told a story of struggle, and every kid growing up there learned early that tomorrow wasn't guaranteed. Young Percy was raised by his grandmother after his parents split, and from day one, he understood that nothing in life came easy. You had to grind hard just to stay standing. He bounced around different high schools in New Orleans, St. Augustine, Booker T. Washington, and Warren Easton, soaking up the energy, the music, and the hustle of a city that would later become the heartbeat of his empire. Those streets taught him lessons no classroom ever could. But Master P wasn't just another kid from the block. He had real talent on the basketball court. He could hoop for real, and that drive earned him a shot to play college ball at the University of Houston. But here's where his story took a twist. Instead of chasing NBA dreams, he made a decision that would flip his whole life. He transferred to Merritt College in Oakland to study business administration. And that move right there, that was genius in motion. While most young rappers at the time were locked in on bars and beats, Master P was studying the game behind the game. He was learning how money actually moves, how contracts work, and how real empires get built. Not with luck, but with strategy, patience, and street-smart vision. That mix of hustle from the Calliope and business knowledge from Oakland became his secret weapon. It's what turned Percy Miller from a kid in the projects into a self-made mogul who understood how to move both in the streets and in the boardroom. Then came 1989, the year that changed everything. Tragedy hit Master P hard, but what came next turned pain into purpose. His grandfather passed away, and after a malpractice settlement, Percy inherited $10,000. Now, most young cats at that age would have splurged. A new car, some jewelry, a quick flex for the block, but not P. He looked at that $10,000 and saw a future. Where others saw fast money, he saw a seed, one that could grow into something way bigger than anybody imagined. Instead of wasting it, he flipped that inheritance into the first move of his empire, opening a small record store in Richmond, California. That store became the foundation of everything. It wasn't just about selling tapes, it was about studying what people bought, listening to the streets, and learning the rhythm of demand. Master P was quietly positioning himself right where culture met commerce, and he did it all with strategy and heart. But the universe wasn't done testing him. In 1990, tragedy struck again. His brother Kevin was killed. That loss cut deep, leaving a hole that no amount of success could fill. Yet, instead of letting it break him, P used the pain as fuel. He later said that moment gave him the fire to escape the streets, not just for himself, but for everyone he loved who couldn't make it out. That was the spark that turned his hustle into a mission. By 1991, that little record store had evolved into something much bigger. No Limit Records was officially born, and from day one, Master P played the game like no one before him. While other artists were jumping at record deals that looked good on paper but left them broke in the end, P told the major labels to kick rocks. He wanted ownership, control, and longevity, not a flashy advance that disappeared overnight. That bold move wasn't just rebellion, it was revolution. It marked the start of a business model that would change hip-hop forever, proving that independence wasn't just possible, it was powerful. Master P figured out one of the biggest secrets to success before the rest of the game even caught on. Ownership is everything. He knew that real power wasn't in fame or clout, it was in control. His early music didn't blow up overnight, but it was spreading steady through word of mouth and street-level hustle, building a loyal fan base across both the Bay Area and New Orleans. He wasn't chasing trends or trying to go viral. He was stacking bricks one by one, building a foundation strong enough to last forever. In February 1990, he dropped his first project, a raw cassette tape called Mind of a Psychopath. It didn't hit mainstream charts, but it made people in the underground take notice. A year later, in 1991, he dropped his first official solo album, Getaway Clean, through In a Minute Records, marking his transformation from record store owner to full-fledged recording artist. Then in 1992, the energy leveled up. He formed TRU, a rap group that included him and his brothers C Murder and Silk the Shocker. This wasn't just about making music, it was about putting family on. P wasn't just chasing personal fame, he was building a team, a legacy, and a label that could feed everybody connected to him. But the real industry shockwave came in 1995. 1995, when Master P locked down one of the smartest deals in hip-hop history. He secured a distribution deal with Priority Records, and this is where his business knowledge from Merritt College came full circle. Instead of signing the usual deal where the label owns your music and the artist gets a tiny cut, P flipped the script. He negotiated a revolutionary agreement. He'd keep 85% of his sales and retain full ownership of his masters. Let that sink in, 85%. In a business built on contracts that trap artists, Master P walked in and rewrote the rules. He used Priority's nationwide distribution muscle to get No Limit's music on store shelves everywhere, but the money and control stayed right in his hands. No middlemen, no puppet strings, just pure independence and smart strategy. That same year, No Limit Records made a major move, relocating from the Bay back home to New Orleans. The empire was coming full circle, and Master P was officially turning street hustle into a dynasty that the whole industry couldn't ignore. When Master P brought No Limit back home to New Orleans, everything changed. He returned to where his heart truly belonged, the streets that raised him and the city that fueled his grind. With his in-house production team Beats by the Pound, crafting those heavy, unmistakable Southern bangers, No Limit transformed from a local underground force into a full-blown movement that took over the South, and soon, the entire country. Then 1996 hit and the explosion began. His fifth solo album, Ice Cream Man, went platinum, powered by the street anthem Mr. Ice Cream Man, which tore up the charts. That same year, P proved he wasn't just a rapper. He was a filmmaker too. He wrote, directed, and produced his debut movie, I'm 'Bout It, on a $1.5 million budget, and it ended up grossing a wild $16 million. Hollywood couldn't ignore him anymore. This man from the Calliope Projects was rewriting the game, not by following the rules, but by breaking them. But 1997? That was the year Master P became undeniable. His album Ghetto D dropped in September and completely took over. 760,000 copies sold in the first week, over 6.6 million units worldwide. It featured the monster hit, Make 'Em Say, a platinum single that became the national anthem of the streets and even got an MTV Video Music Award nomination. Everywhere you turned, you heard that No Limit sound. The energy, the confidence, the gold tanks rolling through videos. It was a cultural moment nobody could deny. If you've been rocking with this story, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment below. Let us know your favorite Master P moment and which part of his journey inspired you the most. No Limit forever.